Hello, and welcome back to my playthrough of Crusader Kings 3 on the hardest possible rule set, starting with a custom character in China in 1066. We're currently on our second character. As you can see, the Black Death had occurred. It's currently clearing up throughout most of China. What we have done is we are now hold this kingdom level title, or circuit as it gets called in China, as our base of operations, as we expect that the Chinese hegemony will soon divide. We're currently in the tension era of the dynastic cycle. In terms of the next era, division has a quite large lead on both advancement and expansion, roughly double the number of points in division than those other two. If division here hits 2,000 points, then the hegemony falls apart into its constituent kingdoms. We'll be holding one of those kingdoms, and our plan will be to use it as a base of power to consolidate the rest of China, restore the hegemony with ourselves as rulers. And so let's proceed. Previously, because of the Black Death, we had been very careful about not traveling away from our capital where we were isolated and secluded. But I think at this point we can start venturing out again, participating in activities, and really we're just waiting at this point for the empire to fall apart. Anything that we can do to push it toward division, we'll look into doing. See. I think we're not the movement leader, so not sure we can present petitions. Oh no, I take it back. We are the movement leader. Okay, so we'll see. As far as movement petitions, really we want to try to continue to weaken the Wang Di, so we can ask him for a reduction in their equivalent of crown authority. Actually, I guess he's already at the minimum autonomous provinces, so no point in asking for that. Let's let the game run a bit. So there's possibly an event we could attend here. Might as well attend this debate. It's not too dangerous. Looks okay. Head out. See, our monthly income and treasury are relatively low, but expecting those to recover as we are able to restore control over the areas. The Black Death greatly reduces both our development and control, so we need to work on getting those back up. Our income is also low because we are supporting a quite large army. We have put that together when there were some peasant revolts. We're still carrying it now, again on the expectation that China is about to fall apart. If we're incorrect in that, then we are going to be spending a decent amount of gold for no good reason. But I do think we will swiftly come to an era when division takes hold, and we want to be strongly positioned for that. We are currently refusing any future appointments. We'd likely end up as a minister, and being a minister when China falls apart can be challenging and frankly seemingly a bit buggy in terms of whether you can declare war and take new lands. So I'd rather be here as a intendant, king / circuit level title, and use that as our basis to put China back together. We do have some significant challenges, particularly to our immediate west is a gigantic realm of Hindustan. Hindustan just recently attacked the Song hegemony and actually took one of the kingdoms, so they are a very serious threat, and we'll have to be prepared for that whenever China does fall apart. Obviously, that will just mean China will be even weaker, and so there's a real risk that Hindustan tries to conquer China, the individual Chinese kingdoms. For this, we clearly want the renown. Renown is very difficult to get, much more difficult than any other resource, so that's where we'll go. Remains as a king instead of a minister does have some limitations. Ministers have a very powerful decision they can take in terms of becoming an honored minister. We saw that both last episode and 2 episodes ago. Also, ministers can use their influence to pass on merit to their heirs. Also cause them to skip exams if they're having difficulty. But as an intendant, we won't be able to do that. Still, for the reasons I've explained, I think it's best to stay as an intendant here and see where we go from here. See if there's really anything we want him. I mean, it looks like he's pretty much at the minimum of his authority. I don't know that we really need to petition him for anything. One thing we could do is actually petition him for provincial house rights. Not a huge benefit, especially if we're correct that the realm is about to fall apart. But just in case something weird happens, this will give us an advantage in keeping the Circuit of Shannon within our family, and obviously we do get some renown, which is always helpful. Not really interested in betrothals of our family members, especially those that do not come with some sort of alliance. Much rather use those family members to continue improving our genetic program. You can see here we already have quite a few geniuses. Just marry her to this person. And so at the moment we're really back into building up our realm. It's very similar to last series, the Duke of Bohemia, where we spent a lot of time just constructing buildings in our realm to improve our economy, improve our military and the regiments that are stationed there. Now we're back to something similar. What is interesting is that our liege currently is in a entrenched regency that is all the way up to power level 6. Potentially, if we could seize the Grand Chancery, which is his regent, we could usurp the title. That's what we actually spent a lot of time, I guess 2 episodes ago, with our father trying to do before our first character, this character's father, unfortunately passed away from consumption. But I think division is coming at such a rate that it's no longer really feasible. And again, don't want to be a minister if when division hits. Certainly sell trivial titles, extort our subjects, want as much gold as we can get for the division period, because at that point we'll be able to hire mercenaries to help us conquer the surrounding lands, and especially we'll need mercenaries if we are trying to take on Hindustan. Okay, so I certainly had thought I had turned on refused new appointments, but perhaps the Huangdi forced me to do it regardless. And now Hindustan is attacking us again, attacking the Song Empire for another significant kingdom. So we are the Grand Chancellor again. You can see each minister has a unique decision to it that allows you to become an honored minister that has a lot of benefits. But here, our father already took this decision for the Grand Chancellor, and so we won't be taking it, are prohibited from taking it. Isn't exactly what I expected or wanted to have happen. But I mean, since we are on level 6 of power sharing and entrenched regency, let's see. So I guess the question is, do we need him to be? Do we need to be on power sharing level 6 and have his legitimacy be less than 2 for us to overthrow him? If so, that is quite challenging. He certainly can't claim his title. We'll have him improve our contract. See for the other council members if we have any options for them to help us join in some sort of scheme to overthrow Huangdi. There does not seem to be one. Coups are launched via a decision. Let's move forward a little bit in time. Sometimes you need to do that before decisions show up. We're looking for any decision that will allow us to get the rule from our liege. And I am simply not seeing one. Okay. The only thing I see here is the depose scheme, which we can't do because his legitimacy is too high. So I don't see an option to scheme to reduce his legitimacy. Yeah, so that seems unfortunate, really. We'll be paying someone 200 gold. We can join this debate. Really, our question is, what actions can we take to overthrow our liege? We'll let the debate run its course, and when we get back, we'll take another look to see if there's something I'm missing. I don't know where else it would be in terms of decisions to affect and overthrow our liege. See, here's Hindustan invasion. Somewhat interestingly, they seem to be running away from the Chinese army. Let's check on our sons, see about influencing them, their personality traits. Give this person compassionate. Looks like he has repeatedly failed his exams, which is unfortunate. The event will continue on. Our oldest son, our current heir, had a grandson who is a genius like his father. His father is a genius. His mother is Amazonian. Unfortunately, he did not get any, so we will betroth him to a young girl with the Amazonian trait. Hopefully that will help. Their children have both genius and Amazonian. We'll have to see. Being appointed to the Grand Chancery really has sort of messed up my plan, which I thought was well developed. I really would have preferred to stay in the Circuit of Shannan here. I'm concerned now that we're going to end up in this circumstance where the realm falls apart, and I am a minister and I'm going to have difficulty being able to win wars in a way that allows me to get land and try to reassemble China after it has fallen apart. It is interesting that the Chinese armies seem to be winning against Hindustan. We talked, I mean, you can see Hindustan here is just gigantic. I mean, it is an absolutely massive empire, realm. But despite, oh, I see. Well, that's a pretty small war. You'd think you'd be focused on fighting China. The Scourge Conqueror that leads Hindustan is starting to get some significant elder traits that will reduce his effectiveness, but I'm still surprised that China is so far able to drive him away. This goes back to a point I've made in a couple episodes about Scourge Conquerors often don't like to attack China, do it relatively rarely, and it sort of makes sense given the potential military might that China can bring to bear if it's able to pull in all its various military governors and also requisition the troops that other vassals have within it to be able to use them against outside enemies. Then China can be extremely powerful. And if you're a Scourge Conqueror, you don't want to lose at all, especially you don't want to lose 3 wars, because that will cause you to lose the Scourge Conqueror trait. And my guess is that if Hindustan lost the Scourge Conqueror trait, it is so large that it would fall apart relatively quickly. Though that could be incorrect, because we are on the very hard difficulty, which makes AI realms very stable, even when they're not being led by a Scourge Conqueror. As for me, I just don't. Well, I guess now we've. Okay. Yeah, our lieges. So are we not the. I guess we're not the regent. Maybe that's the issue. That would be obvious. Not sure. This is our liege's power sharing. It looks like the Minister of Personnel is his regent. It's a bit odd. I thought his regent had to be one of the top 3 here. Generally either the Censor or the Grand Chancellor. But it looks like, in fact, he has a different regent. And he's not willing to transfer it to me. I mean, his current, look like if he has the Minister of Personnel as his current regent, that gentleman looked to be quite old. Let's pin him. Perhaps when he dies, then we can try to get the regency for ourselves. The problem is that, saw earlier, our liege had level 6 power sharing in favor of the regent. Now that's already been reduced to level 4. So chances are we'll end up in the same problem as our father did a couple episodes ago, or you just can't get the power sharing high enough to run any of the political schemes. Generally speaking, the regency is with the Grand Chancellor, because the Grand Chancellor is the most prominent title in all of the Chinese bureaucracy. And again, I did not even know that you could change it to the Minister of Personnel. It does look like our liege might win in this war against Hindustan. I'm wondering if we need to switch up our entire strategy and go back to trying to support our liege and push away division so that we can try to reclaim the regency and usurp our liege's title. I don't know if that's the right call. I think maybe we just go toward division and see what we can do. As a minister, though I'm concerned we're going to end up with some sort of bugged event where we're not really allowed to declare war on anyone. Specifically, what I've seen happen before, if you're a minister when China divides, is you'll have all your armies, you'll be located wherever your state is, but if you declare war on anybody, you're begin at negative 100 war score, and obviously you just lose. And it obviously shouldn't be that way. That has to be a bug, but that seems to be the way it worked at least one other time. Guess we have plenty of influence, so what we could start doing is bestowing merit on our children. Get them up to at least rank 3. That from there they should be able to easily get a good title. Look if we have our full complement of courtiers. Looks like we do. Okay. Port entrance, presumably our nephews and other family members. See that we are in fact about to win the war against Hindustan. It's a little bit surprising, as you'd think Hindustan could call in plenty of mercenaries if they wanted to win our war, but looks like they are going to take a pass and just take the loss. Probably will result in a big boost to our liege's treasury. See how much Hindustan had. Well, not that much. Looked like maybe like 3,000 or so. I thought it would be more. Possibly Hindustan was hampered in that war by having negative treasury, but I don't know. We'll get exam advantage for our family member. One of the rare times I'll pick something over getting more influence. Guess we can hold a feast. Don't know why it wants to send me over there. See if there are any great projects that we could. Sort of odd that we can't start any great projects as the Grand Chancellor. Thought normally we could. Currently the martial lifestyle, the preparation for division, being able to engage in wars of conquest against the other kingdoms that will be created when China falls apart. But we'll just have to see if I'll be able to do that while being a minister, or after being a minister at least. I have the gold, prestige. Okay, so you see this son had an excellent education, just exalted warlord already, famous champion, just amazing. So we will designate him as our heir. He's clearly superior to our other son. We will likewise get him married to a girl who is Amazonian. And we will continue on. If we do die, we feel like we should be in a strong position. If nothing else, he should be a very powerful marshal for us if we're still playing this character when China falls apart. And yeah, speaking of China falling apart, I think our best move here is to withdraw from the ministry and then resume new appointments. Hopefully our next appointment will be as an attendant to a kingdom level title, or even a duchy. Just want some sort of landed title, really. Because yeah, the division is clearly coming. There's really not much we can do here, seemingly, since we're not the regent. Before, we were able to steal gold from our other vassals and work on great projects, but I guess without the regency we're not able to do any of that. I talked about before, I mean when our father held the Grand Chancery. So yeah, let's take that decision. And we will immediately resume new appointments. Lose a bunch of our court officers, which is fine, that's sort of inevitable. And we're just going to be waiting, hoping for a appointment to a landed position. It's a bit weird since this is actually the second time this character has done that. I was in the Ministry of Rights before the Black Death hit, because I was very concerned that the Black Death would kill off the royal family and immediately plunge the realm into division. I wanted to land a title, and then I ended up in this great landed title with Shanann, where I had certainly thought I had refused further appointments, and then I got immediately appointed to the Grand Chancery. So kind of unfortunate here to only get a county, but we'll deal with it. We'll still resume new appointments in the hope of getting something better. Ideally a kingdom level title again, if not that, a duchy. Fortunately, we're losing gold because of, guessing we're over our limit here. I think given the way that we're headed toward division, we'll just eat that loss. Obviously we have 35,000 gold, we're losing 10 gold a month, so we can handle that for quite a while. Rather have this large army. We will push toward division. So at this point, really just want division to get here as soon as possible, and then we'll move on. Do our inspection, see if we should improve taxes. Don't think it improves our salary. With our ritual house attribute, some of the other house attributes you can pick, house aspirations, will give you lots of bonuses for inspections. I don't think ritual does. The other thing we could do, since division is so close, is when division hits, we want to be honor house aspiration. Honor is clearly the military-oriented house aspiration. More men-at-arms regiments, bigger men-at-arms regiments. So let's go ahead and change to that and max it out. That should also help some of our gold issues, since we'll no longer be over the regiment size. Okay, there we go. There was the change. Now let's max out all of our regiments here. Can only station 2, I guess, so maybe just 1. Move on from here. We're losing gold while our regiments fill in. Hopefully we'll go back to positive gold once our regiments are at full strength. Have enough. curious what so we get 3 events. I think we'll just pay for this ourselves. I talked a lot in the last series where we're starting as Duchy of Bohemia in 1066 about the importance of hostile looter experience, grand tournaments, particularly when you're planning on going to war. And so we will hold a grand tournament now to get some of that experience, improve our ability to fight, since the fights are clearly coming very shortly. Our character is quite old, but hopefully we'll still get some benefit from the grand tournament. And we're focusing on foot experience, because if you max out the foot path and hostile looter, you then get an increase in the size of all your regiments by 2, which again, having more troops, always very powerful. Obviously, we're really stretching our economy here to the limit, but the plan would be that as soon as division occurs, we're going to launch attack on some neighboring duchy or kingdom, take it over, and then we'll have more domain holdings, and hopefully that will give us enough to be able to support our quite large army. And again, even if we're losing gold for a while, we have plenty, and so hopefully that will be the way we are able to proceed in reuniting China after a division. So we do get a duchy level title, so we'll go check that out when our grand tournament is complete. But for now, let's focus on the grand tournament. So I guess because I switched my holdings in the middle of the tournament, I'm now traveling to the tournament, which is obviously unfortunate. Where am I? I guess the tournament's still being held down here. Don't really know what's going on, but we'll do our best at the tournament, and then take a look at our new lands. We are better off being in a duchy than a single county in terms of having a power base for when the empire divides or hegemony realm divides. We're still just speedily heading toward division. We do have more treasury here, which is good. Let's build some buildings, improve our economy. Regimental barracks are good. They're good because they reduce the cost of our armies, also give benefits to any stationed regiment. So I talked earlier about why I picked wrestling and duel, which is for the foot experience. Archery in particular gives a health bonus. I think at this point, we're best off having this character live a while, at least until the division occurs. And then we'll really be relying on our sons. So I think we're in a kind of odd circumstance, probably not working as intended, where we aren't able to attend any preparatory events for the tournament, but when the actual activity begins, we are able to participate. Living off the land is one of my favorite perks. The supply capacity of plus 200% means you can keep your army together much longer. You often see the AI divide its army up to little pieces, and if you can keep your army together, you can attack one of those little pieces, and then the AI will just feed its army into you piecemeal. And you can win some battles that you shouldn't that way. Check here if I can request treasury funds, and I can. Won't get too much, but every bit helps. Oh, yeah, so I guess that makes sense. I lost my accolades when I lost my kingdom title. Perhaps let's wait for a bit and then reform, recreate our accolades. Do want to improve the control in our new lands here. Take the moderate increase over the slight increase, since both have a 100% chance. Take the renown, of course. So we did win the archery contest. Hopefully we get something good. I mean, this isn't bad. Knight effectiveness plus 14% is quite useful. We'll definitely equip it. Didn't even realize we had any subjects, but okay. Now we always want more gold. We will pick the option that gives us renown rather than cost it. I mean, you'd really have to be hard up for an heir to take that top option. So this is one of our sons. Again, like the rest, he's going to be martial, which means the obvious choice here is to make him brave. Also be making this son martial. Just a lot of martial sons here. It's partly so we can pick the best one, though I am skeptical that any will be better than this guy. You see that he has 3 virtuous traits here. That means any vassals will like him much more. Also, quite good stats throughout. And so in terms of someone to take over after our character dies, he should be great. Should be fewer factions and fewer factions evolving into rebellions against him than against other characters who do not have all those virtuous traits. I wonder if it's worth resuming new appointments, sort of rolling the dice on whether we can get a good kingdom level appointment, or if we just forget about it and stay here. This obviously isn't the strongest place to be, but I think it'll be okay. Obviously, we want to use our daughter for our genetics program. It'd be good, actually, if there was someone who was beautiful, since we have a couple of geniuses married to people with the Herculean or Amazonian trait. Obviously, this guy is just too young. Let's go with this one. Ugh. So I think we should be able to avoid the window tax, as vassals so often manage to do when I'm on the other side of this. It is always interesting to be the vassal being visited on a grand tour, just because so often I do grand tours, and let's take the 50-50 here. Hidden assets is good. Don't really care about this courtier. Feel free to take him. So that event with the artifact, it often seems that even if there's a 50-50 chance to get a good result, that you get a bad result. At least I do. Not sure why. It seems I so often get bad results on some of those artifact events, but I usually just try to avoid them altogether. Here we will just pay the money. This guy might be our liege for a little bit of time. And I guess we'll just pay the 150. Really want to avoid a stress break. Drink some tea here. So that's very beneficial. Get a massive decrease to any stress gains. Guess we can go to the capital exam that's right next door. Do so with the plan to support our family members. This will probably be the last exams for quite a while. Okay. I mean, his grand tour had already visited me and left, so it doesn't really affect me. Brooches. Very mediocre. mediocre, but we have open slots, and might as well equip it. Crown is underwhelming as well, but again, we don't have any crown, so it's better than nothing, so not by much. Do want to invite champions. It's getting closer and closer to Chinese hegemony exploding. So this is the same thing as before. Already talked about my rationale there. Rather unusual looking knight, frankly, but it's okay. 14 prowess isn't that bad. At least we do still have a positive income despite our massive army. Indeed, we could even build or hire another regiment. Before that, let's station a couple of these. Organized march for army speed, heavy infantry screen, also at least a hit and run, which gives the heavy infantry damage, toughness benefits, and we have a lot of heavy infantry in our army, so good to have. Check out these governance issues when we get back from the capital exam, assuming that we don't already go to division before that. Take that peasant revolt, yeah, so we're 10 away from division. So literally almost anything bad that happens will trigger division. Obviously don't want to marry our daughter to this person. See instead if we can get ideally a beautiful man, if not a Herculean man. It's a bit of an age difference, but I think we'll go with that. Now we are, I've been saying it quite a few times, but now clearly we are truly on the cusp of division. Gold is always good. That's actually a quite useful journal for the extra martial experience, and controlled territory defender advantage is nothing to sneeze at either, so we will definitely equip that. I think many of these decisions will go away when division hits. Get our daughter married. This gentleman looks good. Negotiate to sort of significant alliances with our family members. We want Vanguard. I don't understand why this character would serve as a knight, given that he has the highest prowess of anyone in our court. So we demand payments. Sure. By having the Vanguard Knight, we get +1 regiment size to all our heavy infantry, so we'll go ahead and fill those out. Probably as soon as division hits, we'll make another regiment of something. Actually, might as well do it now. I think we'll go with another regiment of black armored cavalry. Again, just really want to be as powerful as possible for when division hits. So I think we can confidently say we'll literally be coming any second now. Usually go with the openness there to improve opinion. Don't think I want to attend any events anymore. Just wait until the division occurs and we'll begin our efforts to reunify China. Or it's quite possible with my luck that we'll somehow be sitting here for years, or perhaps somehow the Wang Di will push back on division. I think we'll go with patient here, since some of the additional taxes are helpful. Both patient and forgiveness are virtues, so try to give him another virtue and temperate. And of course, here we go, hitting division. And as that said, crisis is opportunity. We'll certainly see if we can take advantage of it here. Our biggest concern is that Hindustan decides to take advantage of the crisis. You can see that their Scourge conqueror, his mind is withering, his bones are breaking, his eyes are clouding, he's becoming infirm, but despite all of that, he is still quite powerful. It'll be interesting to see what happens when he dies and who takes over for him. Okay, let's see who we can attack. Okay, let's go forward a bit. Okay, now hopefully we should be able to launch some attacks here. Nope. Okay. I am a bit confused. Certainly thought even as a duke we could declare war using invasion causes belly. Certainly don't want to attack him. I mean, do we really have to forge claims? Guess we will. mind that one. He just doesn't have very many troops. Let's see, I don't think we actually want to forge on that. Let's forge on something that's within our realm, specifically this one. To say our liege's realm. I had thought I had played before, and that as a duke you were still able to use the casus belli that allows you to attack anyone in China to try to reunite the hegemony, but apparently not. That's okay, we will use whatever tools are provided to us. If we have to forge claims, that's what we'll do. Again, just not enough troops to merit alliance. Don't know that I really care enough to go to his coronation. Okay, take that entire duchy here. Not sure if this is my fault for not understanding how the game works, or if it's the game's fault for rules not operating as they should. Regardless, we will forge another claim. We will find somewhere to attack, and we will eventually be able to expand and see what we can do. Not going to be joining other wars. Really want to focus on our own here. Yeah, I don't really want to join a tournament for just one event. Instead, be ready to attack and get some territory here as soon as possible. Okay, hopefully we can get a full duchy. Wow, we can actually declare war on someone. That's great. Looks like we are leading our own armies. It's fine. Hopefully this will be the first conquest of many. sure exactly where the other army is going, but it doesn't get out of my way. We have to attack him. Somewhat surprised we haven't seen the Go of Cheese army. Again, I apologize in advance for butchering all pronunciations. It's our player here, okay. So we're gonna check on any children he has. Meantime, we'll keep educating our younger sons. Guess this child I am woefully neglecting. Okay, there is his army. Just out of curiosity here. Okay. Don't really want to attack it across the bridge. Looks like he's involved in his own wars. Guess we'll go with generous. Don't really like the tax loss, but perhaps that's what we need to do. If I can catch his army when it's split up, that could be very good. Okay, gives us some confidence that we have a nice powerful army that will be able to take on other kingdoms. We will just need to figure out how to get our own kingdom. Not sure if we need to attack our liege to get independence or how it'll go. As soon as the siege is done, we will go attack his army again. We'll catch them, yep. See, I just have a massive advantage on him. I don't get any counties, but I do get the duchy. Take our money-making decisions here. Okay. I'm not sure why I can't click on decisions, but I cannot. Like before, I prefer to have the negative popular opinion instead of the giant drop in control, so that's what we'll go for. Take another look at what wars we can declare. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, the consolidate land under heaven, causes belli. That guy has quite the army, though he is quite old. I think we pin him. I mean, he's got some seriously fragile bones and many other problems, so he's already involved in 2 wars. I think let's bypass him. Talked about before about what kind of man we want to marry. Have our daughter marry. Might as We'll send our children to children's exams. See if we can get a request for gold. It's such a tiny amount, not really worth it. Okay. I think when we attack you up here, we'll get the king level title. That should make us independent. We are far more powerful than they are, so we'll see. After we attack him, how long the ruler of ways can hold on. He is for the ruler of Wei is very powerful, so I'm a bit concerned about attacking him. Let's see what allies we can call in. Oh wow. So it looks like our half-brother is actually ruling this empire, or sorry, this kingdom. So we could call him in if things ever really get rough. He's sort of far away. I mean, it's kind of like, why not? You know, let's just call him in. Because he's a house member, it's free. So I do think after we win this war, hopefully soon, and we become a king, we'll then call the episode. The division we've expected so long, and the opportunity to take over China for ourselves is finally here. I think things are going generally relatively well for that. We'll just have to see how it goes. You can probably see that because we're playing on very hard, the AI gets extra gold, and recruiting men-at-arms is cheaper for the AI, so they tend to have far more men-at-arms than they do on the regular rule settings. So that does obviously present a significant challenge for us, but that's part of the fun playing the game on this rule set, is to take on those greater challenges and see if you can puzzle through them, figure out how to handle them. And don't really want to be in someone else's wars. We are almost about to win this one. Just need a tiny bit of war score, which should come from this battle. There we go. And now we are a king or Wang. Our realm is split, which is a concern because of total exclave independence. Not sure if that river's enough there, but the total exclave independence, which causes us to lose land that is not connected by land or sea to the territory containing our capital. That only takes effect when we die, and certainly I hope we would have enough time to attack presumably whatever heir takes over this land, and that would obviously connect our territories. We can also attack Key over here, which we have a truce with them. If we attack them, that would clearly give us a sea connection. In any event, I think that'll be it for now. Next episode, of course, we're going to be focused on conquering as much of China as we can to try to reassemble the Chinese hegemony. Longer run, as we get more powerful, we'll be looking forward to attacking Hindustan. So you see they have had a succession, but the heir did clearly get Scourge Conqueror, so we will have a Scourge Conqueror there who'll be keeping pressure on China, and we really need to see what we can do in terms of taking back some of the territory that Hindustan took from the last Chinese Hongdis. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you will join me again for our next episode.